All right, now joined by Coach Byron Moore of Gallaudet Bison University. Coach Moore, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you both.
You have a unique opportunity to coach a superstar in Eric Gregory, three-time national champion. What have you learned about your coaching style, coaching a superstar like him?
Uh, Really paying attention to details. That's one of my strengths because when you have someone that is as capable as Eric is, then you have to search really kind of hard for where the improvements can be made. Yeah,
What were, sorry, go ahead.
no, like he started out as a 100, 200 guy and then grew into becoming a 400-meter runner.
What were some of your first impressions of Eric when you first met him on campus, both as a person and as an athlete?
Uh, well, first as an athlete, I guess I was looking at that first as a coach. Really, that he had a lot of potential to do great things on our campus. I knew he was a fast guy. I didn't know he was going to come in taking over the sprinting unit that we had because I had some veterans on the team at that time. But I put them side by side and let them basically go at it in practice, and then they ended up being side by side in meets as well, which I really kind of like ended up setting the tone when we broke the indoor 4x2 record his freshman year, first meet of the season. I was like, okay, I think we have something special on our hands here.
We've seen Eric win championships, break records, right now chasing Olympic Trials Qualifier, seeming like he's kind of scratching the surface of what he's capable of. What do you think is his ceiling, or what do you think he is capable of doing in the future?
Oh man, there's no telling with Eric really because he puts his mind to something, and that's really what he wants to achieve. He, what his sophomore year when he came and said, "Coach, I want to add the 400 and train it serious." I said, "Okay, if you're serious, then understand it's going to hurt because I'll get you where you need to be from where you are right now and where you were previous on your freshman year. But the training is going to be a lot different. And then for him to now, we scratched the 100 in previous years just because of the time constraints. This year, he said, I want to do all three. I said, okay, we're going to train for it, and it's going to hurt. And I think he did a very good job at nationals. No, he did not become an All-American in the 100. Uh, that's how it shook out. I mean, who can say that they're going to run a 46 and then turn around and run a 10.5 15 minutes later? It's kind of hard to do.
As you I guess you have a unique situation compared to other coaches as you're on the track with Eric right before the gun goes off. I don't think a lot of coaches are able to get that type of there with their athletes. Is there any, you know, last minute encouragements that you give, or is it all business when you and him are on the track?
For the most part, it's all business. I mean, every once in a while, like if it's like uh, in season meet where it's not really taking it that serious, then I may actually try to get his mind off of being nervous before running and joke around a little bit. But when it's a championship meet, I let him go through his process. How his mind is set is how it's going to be set, and he knows what the task is at hand. And I there as mainly just guidance for when the starter says set.
With an athlete like Eric, you're obviously planning for the national meet, but he's good enough to compete after nationals, especially in this Olympic year. So, as a coach, how have you been strategizing to make sure he's physically prepared at the right times, but also he's got enough emotional energy in the tank to peak at indoors, peak at outdoors, try to get the OTQ, maybe the Olympic trials? How have you been managing that?
Oh, track is hard. I'm just gonna let y'all. It's very difficult to ask someone to do their very best every 3 months or every championship. We want you to do the best that you've ever done in your life, and then we're going to start all over again, and we're going to do it again. Um, Really, it's more about managing throughout the season, the events they're in, how many events they're in, how much effort they put into the event as far as the meets go. And then you just have to be smart as a coach and actually having recovery practices and the rest days and the off days and when we're going to dial it back and when we're going to turn it on. Really, it's just mainly about how you manage this in season and then allowing your athlete the chance to peak when they're supposed to.
We mentioned how you're on the track with Eric before the starts, but there might be a little bit of a disadvantage, having you there for him just because of the fact that there aren't any lights to help Eric. Can you talk to just the specifics on, those how those starts kind of affect Eric and what you're there to do for him?
Um, well, he's never used a light system before, so I do know that when you go Deaf Worlds or Deaf Olympics, that they do have a light system available, but it's like wired. So right now, trying to work on developing a little bit of a wireless system that's more portable and things like that with one of the coaches here who helped actually get the swim lights up and running. But he's he's just used to it as far as how we do with our process right now.
What kind of impact does Eric's success have on the university and your program? Obviously, I mean, we saw him set the deaf world record. He must be just a beacon in the deaf athletic community. Can you talk to us, a little bit more about what he means to the deaf community?
It definitely brings more attention to the university itself as well as the deaf community as far as the capabilities of the deaf. You get a lot of people who don't really see deaf athletes at all, let alone doing great things out on the field or on the court or on the track. Um, and as far as like his reach, uh, the Japanese government know about Eric. So yeah, his name is really huge right now in the deaf community.
You got to give us more. You got to tell us more about the Japanese government.
Let's say there was supposed to be an exhibition event that was going to take place back in last fall, and the Japanese government personally asked that he be in attendance to compete. So,
Wow, it's pretty
yeah,
cool. Was it a meet? You said it was a meet?
it was an exhibition. It was like a friendly, like like a test run. They will be hosting Deaf Olympics in 2025. So,
Got it. Well, Coach, thanks for sitting down with us individually. I know you'll be joining us with Eric as well, but appreciate your insight.
you.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. It's cool to get a little time just one-on-one with you before